Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming up here today. It was less than a week ago when daybreak revealed the ruin of so many Western Kentucky communities after unimaginably powerful, destructive storms swept through this region. And we've all seen the heartbreaking images. And we're still only beginning to understand the cruel extent of the destruction, which is off the scale of anything previously experienced by Kentuckians and almost anybody in the world. Pictures of razed homes, leveled businesses, abandoned toys, collapsed churches, tossed vehicles do not and cannot tell the range of the story to each and every one of us. Only the people that are going through this can. And we feel like we know so many of them following this so closely and visiting the area. Our hearts are with them and will stay with them. Greater than the loss of things, though, is the loss of life, and so many now are coping with that too as we get into the funerals that inevitably follow a tragedy like this. We hope it helps for all them to know that on some level that all of the prayers and support and assurances that have come from our community, and that we are here helping and ready to help today and ready to help a lot more as well. Which brings me to where we are today. Ever since the sun broke on the pictures of profound pain and profound need, another picture has been emerging too. And that's of people who are removed by geography, but who are very moved by their fellow humans and their suffering. People who want to help, people who are helping. We have seen this starting from hours after the tragedy, and it just keeps coming. People have already donated more than $10 million to the Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund established by Governor Andy Beshear to help those impacted by the storms. And I know there'll be a lot more coming. Some of these folks, with one day's notice, brought enough cases of water to fill 3 semi-trucks at the Yum Center last weekend to go to Western Kentucky to those who need it. I want to thank everybody that was involved with that. University of Louisville women's basketball head coach Jeff Waltz and the entire team, the University of Kentucky women's hoops team, SOS, UPS, Kroger, and all the good people from my office as well. And so there are many more needs for people who find themselves suddenly with very few belongings or no belongings at all, and there will be organized drives for those items too. There's other folks I want to thank. I want to thank David Beck and Kentucky Venues for opening up Broadbent here for us today. It's wonderful to see how we use all these assets that we own as citizens of Kentucky. This just 10 months ago was the site of a mobile mission Louvax, vaccinating people in here. Now we're here helping people from disaster. There's horse shows in here. There's all livestock shows in here. There's been basketball games in here. But this is how we use our assets. I want to thank Chief Wilkerson and the St. Matthews Police Department. St. Matthews has responded in an incredible way with toys, many of the toys that we're seeing here today. Chief, thank you for the good work from St. Matthews. I want to thank the Kentucky State Police as well. They, like Louisville Metro Police Department, don't get enough recognition for the work that they do 24/7, 365, no matter what the conditions are. They are there to help people. So KSP, thank you guys as well. And then I want to thank the folks from Louisville Metro government that left at 3:30 in the morning on Saturday morning to rush down to Western Kentucky to see how they can help. These are folks from Louisville Fire Department, from our emergency management services, whose only instinct, once that they knew the storms were coming to see, okay, we didn't get hit here, so where could they go to help? And they got the call from Mike Dossett from Kentucky Emergency Management Services, who's doing an incredible job too. They were down there at daybreak to see how they could help. They were assigned to the candle factory and led the rescue and recovery mission there. Some of our suburban fire folks are still down there covering for the other fire departments that have been decimated. So we'll continue to see help here from Louisville, and all parts of the state. So I just appreciate how much everybody's standing up and to help during this disaster. Now, the calendar and the human spirit tell us there's another immediate need that the people of Kentucky already understand, because they are already responding to Kentucky First Lady Brittany Beshear's call for a toy drive to collect toys for children affected by the storms. One of the things that we've seen throughout the pandemic and now with this tragedy is the beautiful family that Brittany and Andy have with their 2 kids, and how much family means to them. And it takes a mother's touch to be thinking, what about the kids? What do they need? We've got Christmas now that's 9 days away. They need a Christmas. How can we go to ruin to helping these kids fulfill their Christmas? So no one wants any of these children impacted by these storms to go without Christmas, to go without the holiday joy of a toy and the thought behind that toy and what that love brings. So as you can see again, Kentuckians and Americans, and I would say people from all over the world, are responding to this need. This site at Broadbent has already received thousands of toys. It's just Thursday. We're open till Saturday, so there are going to be thousands more. So the First Lady and a few others will have more details in a moment. But before I close, I would like to quote the famous Dr. Seuss, one of the wisest people when it comes to children. And of course, he wrote something that perfectly fits this occasion, and we are living into his words at this very moment. So Dr. Seuss said, "Christmas will always be as we stand heart to heart and hand in hand." So our message for the people of Western Kentucky is we will be with you throughout this crisis that will last for months and months and years, and we will stand with you heart to heart and hand to hand. So please welcome, and it's my honor to introduce our great First Lady. Please welcome Kentucky's First Lady, Brittany Beshear.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all for joining me today as we continue our Western Kentucky Toy Drive to bring some much-needed hope and joy to children who have suffered tremendous loss as a result of last week's storms. As First Lady, I was left speechless by the heartbreaking images that I saw personally yesterday. Entire communities left grieving after this natural disaster. Homes ripped from their foundations and moved down the street. Christmas decorations, toys in the rubble of what used to be a child's bedroom. As a mother, my heart aches, especially for those youngest Kentuckians among us, for whom the holidays are a particular magic time of the year. My immediate thoughts went to a child waking up on Christmas morning without a home, without a tree, without a gift. They have lost everything. And then I thought as a parent the pain that I would feel if my child was in that situation. And right around the holidays, you want to have that joy, but caregivers and parents are understandably focused on taking care of their family's most urgent needs, which right now, food, water, shelter. So on Monday this week, I announced we are teaming up with our #1 partner, Santa Claus. We are launching the Western Kentucky Toy Drive, which is an effort to collect new unwrapped toys, books, games, electronics, and $25 Visa gift cards or MasterCard for children this Christmas. Today we're here at Broadbent Arena in Louisville, our largest donation site and hub for mail and gifts. As you can see behind me, there has been a tremendous outpouring of love put into action here. I want to thank Mayor Fisher and his entire team for their amazing support of this effort. Within an hour of calling to ask for their help, they secured Broadbent Arena for our use. And they've been a great help throughout the week. Thank you also to the City of Covington and Kenton County, the City of Lexington and Fayette County, as well as Western Kentucky University, for also moving quickly to set up additional drop-off locations in areas where they were still needed. To everyone who has contributed these gifts so far, From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I am truly overwhelmed by the response to those who've generously donated. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank our law enforcement community. You were courageous first responders who put yourselves in harm's way to protect Kentuckians. And on top of that, you answered the call from Santa to make sure every Western Kentucky kid will have a special Christmas morning. I was talking to one young boy yesterday, and he was concerned that Santa could not find him. I said, well, there are kids all over the world who live in places without chimneys. Santa will find you. And he looked at me and he said, that sounds creepy. Kentucky State Police have not only volunteered to collect toys, but they're also transporting them to Western Kentucky and have provided significant planning and logistical support every step of the way. The St. Matthews Police Department, Paducah Police Department, Kenton County Police Department, and the Fayette County Sheriff's Office also stepped up to collect and transport toys. In addition, many more local law enforcement agencies are working with KSP to help ensure we can get those toys to as many impacted communities as possible. Thank you. Thank you. If you have not yet donated an item or gift card, there is still time to do so. But with all of the support we have received from the Commonwealth and the entire country, we are starting to switch gears and begin loading these toys on our trucks to be shipped to our Western Kentucky pickup sites. As we continue to campaign to bring support to the areas affected by the tornadoes, we want to reiterate that these towns and families are going to be rebuilding for a long time. We are with them every step of the way, and one of the best ways for individuals and corporations to send their support is through a monetary contribution to the Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund. This fund will address some of the more immediate needs in those communities, including funeral expenses. For those who still want to give to the toy drive in particular, until Saturday, December 18th, we are in need of more $25 Visa or MasterCard gift cards, in addition to items for older kids and teens, like electronics, video games, athletic gear, and bikes, as well as books and art supplies. And I want to reiterate as well that no gift is too small. Every gift is important, every gift matters, and every gift will find its way to a child in Western Kentucky. Thank you to each of our regional collection sites for your generosity in providing your time and space to this cause. A full list of drop-off locations and their hours is posted at firstlady.ky.gov/toy drive. We ask that you please do not wrap the gifts so we can easily sort and organize them. You can, however, donate wrapping paper, wrapping paper, tags, bows, and more, which we can distribute to parents who choose to wrap their presents. As Kentuckians, we come together when times are tough. We look out for each other, and no matter the challenges we face, we get through it together. These tornadoes and the loss they have inflicted would have been devastating regardless of when that happened. The proximity to the holidays just somehow makes it a little more painful. So it is an honor to be able to provide some peace and hopefully a moment of joy and light to the families and children who are hurting right now. In the aftermath of this tragedy, I found myself often thinking about a statement from our beloved Mr. Rogers, who said, "When I was a boy and would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.'" Today, in addition to all of those Kentuckians and people around the country who have donated so much, we have extra special helpers here on Team Kentucky. First joining us via video message is Kevin Coleman, Hasbro's Senior Director of Global Philanthropy and Social Impact.
Hello. On behalf of Hasbro, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in Kentucky and all those impacted by the devastating tornadoes. As a toy, game, and entertainment company, we live by a greater purpose of making the world a better place. When disasters like this happen, we strive to bring a glimmer of hope and joy to children impacted, especially when a tragedy like this takes place so close to Christmas. Hasbro is proud to support the efforts of First Lady Beshear by donating thousands of toys and games to the Western Kentucky Toy Drive. We hope this donation will make the season a bit brighter for the children and families impacted by this disaster. We wish you all the best during this holiday season.
Thank you to Hasbro. They have donated thousands of toys to the toy drive, and I am overwhelmed by the goodness of people throughout our country who have stepped up. Next, we have Kentucky State Police Captain Paul Blanton, Public Affairs Commander, and St. Matthews Police Department Colonel Barry Wilkerson, Chief of Police. Captain Blanton and Colonel Wilkerson, I cannot thank you and your staff enough for jumping in so quickly to support this effort. Captain Blanton, would you like to say a few words?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Good morning. Seems like there's a lot of thanks and acknowledgments, but I would like to take this opportunity to thank First Lady Beshear for answering the call and responding to a vital need felt by thousands of children who have experienced trauma that the majority of us cannot even imagine, and allowing KSP to participate in her toy drive. And to Avaretti Express for picking up this first of many loads, and to all the trucking companies who have offered assistance. KSP has received over 500 calls, emails, and texts in response to helping transport the toys collected. And also to the civilians and sworn officers of KSP for stepping up and responding at a moment's notice. From each of the posts agreeing to be drop-off locations for toys, the staff who have coordinated truck drivers, planning and logistics, finding sites for the storefronts and distribution hubs, and promoting the toy drive that has brought in hundreds of thousands of toys. KSP is not only here for 911 emergencies. Troopers do respond to 911 calls, but they are also responding to the needs of Kentuckians when they don't know where else to go. And that includes making sure children who have been displaced from their homes have a bright Christmas morning. The last couple of days have been hard for the first responders. They have experienced long days of trauma, loss, confusion, and a lot of emotion. I am so proud of and appreciate the response of my brothers and sisters in law enforcement for their swift and efficient response in Western Kentucky. State and local police are here to help create a better Kentucky, and I feel the First Lady's toy drive and her partnership with law enforcement is moving us closer to that better Kentucky, which will have a ripple effect throughout the state for generations to come. Thank you to Mayor Fisher and the St. Matthews Police Department and those other local law enforcement and city centers throughout the state for participating in this toy drive. Now let's bring Christmas to Western Kentucky. Happy holidays from the Kentucky State Police.
All right. Thank you. Let's see. Colonel Wilkerson, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you. We were more than happy when we got the call from the governor's office to help with this project, and even more excited to work with our partners from KSP. It's always good to work with a professional agency like the Kentucky State Police. But I can tell you, we were nowhere prepared Wednesday for what we were about to see. 8 o'clock in the morning, we had already had cars lined up at our doors. We had 2 spaces set off in our agency where we were going to collect the toys. That area was filled up within 2 hours. And the generosity just kept coming, and we had lines of people waiting to donate toys. And it's not like they were dropping off a toy or 2. They were coming in with SUVs loaded, pickup trucks loaded full of toys, bags full of toys. And it got to the point where we were running out of room. We had to move our council area out of the way, set up more locations for that, and that was filled up by the end of the day. With that being said, we thought, well, we need to start getting these out of here, and we need places to take the toys and ways to do that. We called some of our go-to people in our city. We called Jim Gravens with Stapleton's and asked him to help us with some boxes in a trailer, and with 1 hour, he had 200 boxes there in his trailer. Not only that, Jim went to a local store, filled up that trailer with toys himself, with toys and bikes, and brought it back, thus creating the fact that we realized at that time we needed more trailers because they continued to come in. Within 2 hours from that, Old Dominion Freight Lines brought a semi to us, and another individual dropped a 28-foot trailer off and said, please use it any way you want for as long as you need it. That's the generosity we're seeing. Again, this morning before we even opened, cars were in the line to drop off more toys. The generosity, you can't imagine. We've already filled up 3 trailers full of toys and still haven't taken out some of the stuff that's inside our police headquarters right now. That's the amount of generosity you're seeing, not only here in our community. We had people as far away from Virginia bringing us toys, and that's truly amazing. And I can't thank my officers and their families enough. They're donating their time. We're a smaller department. We're still providing 24/7 service to the people of St. Matthews, but they're taking their own time. And I don't now because it is an enormous amount of toys that are coming in. But like everything the St. Matthews Police do, our officers are stepping up and making it happen. And I'd like to thank First Lady Beshear for actually leading us in this endeavor. It's truly amazing how this has come forth and how people have stepped up. And I can speak on behalf of the St. Matthews Police and actually the smaller police agencies here in Louisville metro area. They will do whatever and whatever you need for us to do whenever. Thank you.
Today we have the honor of loading some of the first of many boxes that will bring these toys and some Christmas joy to Western Kentucky. Before we do that, I want to tell you one quick story. We had an amazing opportunity to speak to a large group of children in Dawson Springs yesterday, and amidst the rubble of their home, they were just kids and had so much energy and so much to say, and it was so heartwarming. One little boy was talking about just having had his birthday, and he had gotten a lot of gifts. And when he heard about the toy drive, he wanted to give all of those gifts he had received to the toy drive. As a mom with 2 kids of my own, I am always amazed. If you want to know the right answer, we just look to our children. Our kids know how to find the light and be the light for one another. To each of the families who are hurting this holiday season, we stand with you today, tomorrow, in the years to come. We are here. We will get through this together. Thank you. Whatever you would like to do. You want to take questions? Might be easier to.
Yeah. Are there any brief questions here before we work with some of the toys?
Yes. We have, in the last 48 hours, had an estimate of about 70,000 toys come in. And it's a staggering and heartwarming number. But we also have to remember that the number of children in Western Kentucky who lost everything. And so it's not just Christmas presents that we're bringing, but also replacing those toys that they've lost. But that number is absolutely incredible. I had no idea that it would earn this type of attention.